Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today's look is going to be a super glam New Year's Eve look. I wanted to put together something based off of the idea of a very simple but very glamorous eye, just to show that you don't have to have 9 million products to have this gorgeous, super shimmery, glittery, fun New Year's Eve eye. I have actually only used one eyeshadow in this entire look. There's a couple of eye products, yes, but I used one eyeshadow and only one eyeshadow brush. I'm not kidding. So this is actually pretty easy. The level of difficulty does come in with the winged liners. You show a modification in this. So if you don't want to do the super dramatic wing liner, you can totally skip that and modify this and make it just a little less dramatic with that. You can also change the lip if you're just not feeling red with this look. Totally up to you. This is very, very versatile. Make it what you want as long as you feel pretty in it. So you all have a blast. If you enjoy the video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up. Also, I love hearing back from you guys. Be sure to leave me a comment, and I cannot wait to see if you recreate the look. Be sure to tag me in it on Instagram at Crystal Hoyt Beauty. All right, y'all have a safe and happy new year, and I hope to see you back soon. Okay, to get started, I'm gonna begin with the IT Cosmetics Confidence in a Cream. This is the little mini that I picked up. Since we're gonna be doing a long wear makeup routine, what I don't wanna do is apply a ton of moisturizer. I just wanna have my skin lightly prepped so that my makeup glides on evenly. I'm not gonna hydrate under my eyes yet because I'm gonna wait until I do my actual under eye area. So my baby woke up and totally distracted me, and I forgot to hit record for this portion for priming, but I primed my skin with the Laura Mercier oil-free primer. For foundation, I'm gonna be using the Estee Lauder Double Wear BB Glow All Day. Long name. It's gonna give a glow to the skin, and it's more of a light sheer to medium coverage. It's not gonna give a heavy, heavy full coverage like the original Double Wear. I know a lot of people love the Double Wear foundation. I've seen so many more wrongs than rights in the application of that makeup that I'm just not a huge fan, but I do love this formula when you want something more long wearing, but you don't want it to look dry or overly matte. Because this is a little bit light for me right now, I am actually going to be mixing with this the Hard Candy Glamouflage Mix-In Pigment Makeup Drops. Now what these are basically just pigment suspended in liquid. They're really meant to be mixed with like your moisturizers or any other cream that you may already have, but I have fallen in love with this to mix in with foundation this time of year if it's too light or too dark. Mixing it with a synthetic foundation brush, and then I'm going to press this in with my Beauty Blender after I apply all over. Now, how much of this pigment you add will adjust the amount of coverage in the foundation that you're using. So if you don't want it to drastically vary the coverage of your foundation, then what you'll want to do is just add a tiny, tiny touch of it. If you want it to add more coverage to the foundation, you would add a little bit more. And if you're going to be wearing your hair up, don't forget your ears. And if your foundation is a little different than the color of your natural skin, it will really show up on your ears or the back of the neck. So just make sure and blend all of that out really, really well. This is the new Mega Glow Dual-Ended Contour Stick from Wet n Wild. I was an avid fan and user of the NYX Wonder Stick this last year. I actually like this one better, and it's much, much less expensive. I'm gonna start with the dark, and I'm just gonna do a little bit of general sculpting for my cheekbones, nose, dash across the forehead. Because this product contours really softly, I'm gonna do a little bit more detailed contouring on my nose, rounding out the end here so it just looks a little bit more upturned and not too pointy, because I get really pointy if I'm not careful. I'm gonna come under my jawline a little bit and shape out my chin. So now I'm gonna flip it over, and this side is why I like it better than the NYX Wonder Stick. It doesn't have a sheen to it, and what I didn't like about the Wonder Stick was that it had a little too much of a glow to it for where I wanted to use the product itself. So I'm gonna hit this just on the top of the cheekbones. I'm gonna come back in with a powder here, so I'm not gonna do a lot of this here. And I forgot to do a little swoop of contour right underneath the lip. I'm gonna do a little highlight above the lip, down the center of the nose. And then I'm gonna come back in here with my actual concealer to finish brightening under here. Okay, I'm gonna use a little flat synthetic brush to begin buffing all of this in. I'm gonna start with all of my dark. gonna add a little more highlight down the center of my nose here. I'm gonna use my Beauty Blender and I'm just gonna press out all of the areas that are lighter. To prime my lids, I'm gonna use my Love, my MAC Paint Pot in Painterly. There are a lot of primers you can use, but you definitely wanna make sure that you're using something that has a little coverage to the lid for this look. Okay, so I've gone ahead and I've applied my brows just for time. If you want to see my brow process, I'll have a video link below that will go over exactly how I do my brows. However, this little guy, this is the Brow Power Perfector from IT Cosmetics. This has been something I have been loving recently because it does allow me to skip a step in my brow process. This kind of works like a pomade and a pencil in one. I then went in and brushed for volume and to groom the brows with the Benefit Gimme Brow, and I used shade number 1. I'm going to be using my KHEIL'S Creamy Avocado Eye Treatment, and I'm just going to apply this fresh. This is the Bye Bye Under Eye Concealer and Brightener. I have found this to work fantastically as both a waterproof and a crease-proof concealer. Now this I am going to take down onto the cheek a little tiny bit, and then I'm going to use my brightener a little bit further down. And really with this concealer, they do recommend that your finger is the best to press in and warm this product up. So I'm just gonna finish blending it out by pressing it with my finger. I'm gonna save the brightener from this for dead last after we've done eyes, lips, and cheeks and everything, and I just wanna add a little brightness right around the eye area. Now, I'm not a huge fan of baking for every day because I feel like it makes the makeup look really made up for just like everyday makeup, and I'm doing a little bit of baking. I'm not going crazy with this. I'm gonna take a little bit underneath my cheek. I am using my Laura Mercier translucent loose powder. I'm gonna be taking this just through the center of forehead. Okay, I'm gonna let that sit on my face while I do the rest. This is the easiest eye look I'll probably ever show, but it looks really beautiful when it's finished. I'm starting with the Laura Mercier Caviar Stick, and I'm gonna be using the shade Moonlight. These are cream waterproof eyeshadow sticks. There are a lot of drugstore brands that are doing this now too, so if you don't wanna spend this much on an eyeshadow stick, you can definitely do the exact same look with a taupe shimmer shadow stick across the lid. This one is just absolutely stunning on. It's one of my favorites for this kind of look. So you can wear this alone, or you can take it to the next level like I'm gonna be doing with the glitter on top of it. I'm gonna take this all over the lid, and then using my ring finger, I'm gonna be tapping out my edges of this. I'm now gonna come inside and right underneath. And instead of using another eyeshadow to add a little bit of depth to this eye, I'm actually gonna be using the bronzer that I'm gonna be putting on later, which is perfect for this look, which is just a really subtle, slight sheen bronzer using my Morphe Pro Firm blender brush. I'm just taking this right where I've kind of sheared out that cream shadow. The whole point of this tutorial is a no mess glitter, and the beauty of the Urban Decay Midnight Cowboy is that it is completely no mess when it goes on. Now when it comes off, that's a whole different story. You're gonna still be dealing with glitter. You're still gonna have a little bit of mess whenever you clean it up. If you don't wanna have the whole lid covered, you can just use this as a liner for your top lashes. However, for this look, I'm actually gonna go in, and you wanna use it just very broadly all over the lid, just painting it on with the little brush. And then using my finger, just kind of tap it out. I'm gonna layer this again, just on the center of the lid this time, and then repeat. Now at this point, we're gonna be lining in the waterline of the eye. So I'm just coming underneath. And I'm using the NYX Slide On Glide On Jet Black pencil. I'm gonna smudge it out with an eyeliner brush. So this will give you an idea of the softer version if you don't want to do a winged line. Just smudging it out here on top, so that way if you're not going to do a winged liner, you still have some great definition. For those of us who are wing liner purists and we love our wing line, I'm gonna be using the Tarte Tarteist Clay Paint Liner in black. They stay on like nobody's business. It does come with a little brush. Now you do need to be careful when you squeeze it out. Just a little bit. I'm always nervous I'm gonna squeeze too much. You can see that you can mix on your brush to get the right amount right there on the little mixing pad at the top. Here's a little wing liner trick. Grab some Scotch tape. You're gonna line the tape up underneath the eye, angled up towards your brow. And then you just connect from here and start your line that way. And you want that line smaller to the inside, straight out to the outside. When you're through, peel off your tape and you have a perfectly clean line. And ooh, that's what they call cut a eyeliner. Right, at this stage I have baked long enough. I'm just knocking off all the extra powder. Now, because we're going for long wearing, no smudging, staying on all night, I'm gonna be using the Better Than Sex waterproof formula. Now, I do find that this formula can take a little while to dry, so I'm just doing a little tiny bit of this before I do my lashes. I'm gonna be using the Vegas Snake Grand Glamour Lashes. If you are doing a softer look, I would recommend going with something much softer for your lashes as well and doing something like the Revlon Beyond Natural Lashes. These have a nice soft shape and they give a length and a little bit of volume, but they're very, very soft and subtle and they're pretty lightweight on the eyes too. But I'm going for more drama. If you don't think lashes make a difference with a look like this, have a little look-see. I'd say they make just a wee little bit of difference. Got our glamorous lashes on, so now I'm ready to move on to the brightening side of my under eye brightener here. I'm gonna take this just right on the outside of the nose. I contoured here, so I'm coming right on the outside here, and I'm just gonna brighten the rest of the way down the cheek. And this is why I did not do a lot of powder here. Put on just the tip of my nose. Dampen Beauty Blender. The difference in this brightening side versus the concealer side is this has a little bit of an illuminator in it, and then also it is a thinner consistency than the actual concealer, so it's much better for that brightening kind of touch up. This is the new Sweet Peach Glow palette from Too Faced, and I am in love with this. I'm gonna be starting with the bronzer, just using my Bobbi Brown bronzer brush, just a little bit of a healthy glow. I'm just gonna use a little bit of the Peach Glow, just kind of like I'm pinching my cheek right where I would get a natural flush. And I'm just gonna use my Bobbi Brown Face Blender brush and just sweep this back. I don't want a lot of blush back here, and I also don't want it just on the apple of the cheek. This highlighter is to die, and I love it actually for every day just because it's not super glittery, which is great. I have enough glitter on my eye right now. We don't need heavy, heavy sparkle glitter cheeks, and honestly, I'm just kind of over the glitter cheek thing. I love this palette. And last but not least, lips. Now you can just do a classic red lip, or if you're not a red lip person, do a nude lip. The beauty of this look is you can kind of do whatever you want to with it. I'm gonna be doing a deeper, more ombre red lip. I'm gonna be starting with my NYX lip primer. Now the next thing I'm using is actually not a lip color at all. This is the Rust number 619 Jumbo Eye Pencil from NYX that I'm gonna be using to deepen and create a little bit of ombre. I wanna leave more of the middle of the lip bare, otherwise this is gonna get really dark and heavy. I really want just the edges and the outline in the center to be deepened. This does not have to be symmetrical or perfect at this point because I'm gonna be blending over this with a lipstick. Next, I'm gonna be using the ColourPop Ultra Matte Liquid Lipstick in Creeper. This is just a little mini that came in a Christmas set last year. Now I'm gonna go in with my lip brush and just fine tune my edges here. And I'm gonna go back in with that darker again and just blend it over the edges on the inside. Really hard to talk and do your lips at the same time. And that's all. I'm gonna go change and I'll be right back to give a finished look.